Welcome to our Metal Reactions channel. I'm Brad.
I'm Alona.
Quick plug for Shayne Capazorio, who did an awesome job on our intro video and channel branding. If you need some graphic design work done for yourself, you can find his contact details in the description below. So, we are doing Jan Olav Walldal's Patreon request, which is Metallica Fade to Black live in Lincoln, New England, September 2018.
2018?
Yeah, they're still touring.
Oh, wow.
I mean, it's an old song. I don't actually know when the song is from. Do the lyrics have a date? 84. From the album Ride the Lightning in 1984.
Oh my god.
So I think they've practiced this a few times.
Seems so.
Now, you know some Metallica.
Well, I know nothing else matters.
Okay. You don't know if you know this one.
I don't know.
Okay, I definitely know this one very well. Metallica is actually quite an interesting band for me because now in South Africa, we didn't get very many big bands come out our way because it's for touring logistics, it makes no sense to come all the way down to South Africa and then all the way somewhere else.
Okay.
But when I was in second last year of school, so when I was 17, they came to South Africa. It was the first big metal concert, well, rock and metal concert, and they were the headlining band. So myself and a whole bunch of friends from school, we hired a van. None of us could drive yet because we were 17, so we hired a driver and everything. Everyone chipped in. And yeah, Metallica was basically the first concert I ever went to.
Cool.
So that's a big... Metallica has basically a big part in my life as a result, even though I would say I'm not the biggest Metallica fan in the world. Of my friends certainly like Metallica a lot more than I did. Not to say I didn't like them, but I wouldn't say they were my favorite band. And then they actually came to South Africa again some years later.
Did you go again?
And I went to that again. I mean...
Did you hire a van again?
No, I could drive at that point. But yeah, so I have actually seen them live, which is pretty cool.
But it's interesting to suggest 2018. I mean, I would assume that the best sound was probably earlier than that. I
don't know. But the recordings of live shows would be much better now. That's for sure.
Okay.
Yeah. Old live shows can be horrible. They performed well, but often the audio, the capturing of that audio from live shows, I think is much, much, much better these days.
Okay, let's hear it.
Let's see. And let's see if you do know this song or not.
missing one inside of me. Death lost, this can't be real. I cannot stand this hell I feel. Emptiness is feeling me to the point of agony. Cool darkness taking on, yeah, I was me, but now he's gone. Yeah.
Before they get going again.
There are just so many guitars.
So, do you know this one?
No. I mean, I don't know. It just sounds familiar because I think everything sounds familiar from Metallica.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, I'm just like impressed how he switches the guitars
Yeah.
from one to. So the one is the acoustic one, right?
Mm-hmm. The top one that he was playing first was acoustic,
Yeah.
and then
And
switches
then
to the
for
electric.
those like heavy beats, he switches to this one.
Mm-hmm. Well, at least you know that's heavier. Aliona was asking how, like, what makes something heavier? How do you define what's heavier? See, you knew that was heavier.
Well, it just becomes more intense and more instruments are playing at the same time.
Like deeper.
Yeah. Yeah, it seems like each of those guitars has like its own voice or something.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a bit, isn't it like a bit unique that it's just all the guitars plus the drummer, right? So there's no keyboard or anything like that.
Well, I think that's just because we've been listening to a lot of like Scandinavian and like melodic death and those sorts of things where those types of bands have keyboard. I mean, I don't know if I could say most metal does or doesn't have keyboard, but I mean, there's a lot of metal that doesn't have keyboard.
Yeah, I think we tend to listen to the songs that that have like wide variety of instruments.
Yeah, but I think purposely we've also gone down a more melodic path because for someone who's new to metal, the more melodic subgenres are sort of easier to get into. The ones that, I mean, there's a lot of subgenres we'll get into at some point that are like completely devoid of melody and it's just destruction, which are awesome for me, but not a great entry into metal.
This is very melodic.
Yeah,
it
for
does
sure.
has like melodic sound or something.
Yeah, definitely. Metallica is very accessible for metal.
No, no.
That was impressive.
Yeah, when they let loose and they show off their technical ability, I love that side of Metallica so much more. I must be honest, there's times with Metallica songs where they're just not enough for me. It's just a little too
repetitive.
Not repetitive, just
predictable.
Like just radio friendly,
just
safe.
Just because it's radio friendly doesn't mean it's bad.
Well, I like music that has more edge to it. So I mean, it's those radio friendly aspects of it that make it so accessible and get so many people into metal. Because I mean, you don't just go from pop to complete all out destruction. Like it is a spectrum, it's a journey. And even for me, I mean, you know, as a kid, okay, you won't necessarily understand all of this, but I know a lot of the viewers will. I love the Saint Anger album, and I mean that's like everyone hates the Saint Anger album. But amongst Metallica fans, almost everyone hates the Saint Anger album. But I was a kid in high school, and hearing that was really, really cool. And
so what's wrong with that though?
That requires a whole other discussion. Like the production of it, the drums sound like these weird like tin cans, but at the time I thought that was amazing. You know, I didn't have this whole other library of metal music to benchmark it against, and I, you know, was coming out of much lighter music. So, you know, Metallica has a very, very important part in my own personal metal journey, getting from listening to whatever you do as a like pre-teen all the way up into, you know, what I listen to now. And still, I mean, a song like The Unnamed Feeling, I think even if I listen to that now, I still enjoy that song. And that music video for Saint Anger I absolutely loved at the time. But anyway, my point is, there's such skilled musicians, especially the guitar work, and they don't always show it. But when they do bring their technical ability, I'm often blown away, because I've almost been like lulled into this I don't know, this other state of not noticing the technical ability of it, just being kind of more vanilla, and then they hit you with that heavier bit, or that technical guitar work, and you're like, oh damn, okay, I forgot how skilled these guys actually are.
Okay.
The stage work as well, those big boxes, I don't know if you saw them. I thought that was pretty cool.
With reflections or something. Yeah, it was really nice, created the atmosphere. Especially because they were like in the center of the
yeah, that was also really cool.
Yeah,
like everyone was around them.
Yeah.
I have seen Metallica videos like that before, I think. I don't know if that's a bit of a trademark of theirs, or if that's something they do quite often. But that is very cool, as opposed to just a stage on one end looking at everyone this way.
I think they were like performing on 360 degrees.
That is very cool.
Yeah. So on each side there was a guitar player. And they were demonstrating what they can do. Yeah, I found that this guitar guy, I can't even explain how to differentiate them. There are so many people playing guitars.
The guy with the crazy good solo at the end?
Yes. With this yellow guitar.
Kirk Hammett.
Yeah. That was...
Like the curly grey hair.
Curly grey, yeah. There was...
And when did he go grey? Last I saw him he had black hair. When did Kirk go grey? Well, they all went grey, but...
But that was amazing. But even like throughout the song, there were many bits and pieces that were unique, I would say. So they just squeezed it in some improv there or something.
Yeah, I don't think it's improv per se, but yeah, that kind of like solo journey feel.
Yeah.
The guitar tones are also very cool. Like the signature heavier guitar tones are really nice. Like when it breaks out of the acoustic guitar and it goes into that like nice crunch.
I think this is recognizable from like the iconic Nothing Else Matters. That's So basically, all the elements that from that song are recognizable here, like this. Obviously, you have heavy voice and this tone of voice, which you can't possibly mistake for anyone else.
Yeah, true.
This like heavy parts when they go into guitar plus drumming,
Yeah.
to make it more intense, and I think to accentuate something.
Yeah. And also to complement that, there's the one piece near the end where Lars does go into some double bass there, which I always appreciate. But I mean, it is obviously really well written because of that contrast. Like, you know, I love these heavier technical parts, and like it leaves me wanting more because I feel like they don't do that stuff enough in the song, but ultimately that's probably the intention, because, you know,
they wouldn't be recognizable if
Yeah.
they were doing it throughout the whole song.
Exactly. So, you know, I mean, it's my own personal frustration. I mean, I'm overblowing. I mean, it's not like some huge frustration. It's just like, I wish there was a little more heavy in it. But ultimately, they're probably doing exactly what they wanted to do by withholding it from you and then giving it to you when you're begging for it, you know. So it is obviously good skilled songwriting.
Just playing with you.
Yeah.
Toying with your emotions.
Messing with my emotions, exactly. And New England was wrong.
Yes, it was Nebraska.
Nebraska. Damn me, I thought any would be New England. It's not. What's New England if it's not any?
I don't know. What is New England?
New England is where Boston is.
Okay, fine. I'm just bad at geography.
I've never been to the US, so that's my excuse. You lived there for a little while. What's your excuse?
Well, I know those states that I lived in. I wasn't supposed to know everything. I didn't go traveling all around to every state to remember it.
Okay, so you didn't go to Nebraska or New England, well, Boston.
Well, I didn't go to Lincoln for sure. That's my excuse.
Okay. Alrighty. So, overall, happy we did Metallica?
Are we going to talk about lyrics?
Yes, I even forgot about that. Thank you.
Yeah.
You could tell I was.
You're just wrapping it up
I was
and without
heading off to rap it, which I completely forgot. Fade to Black. What you got?
Fade to Black. It does remind me just, the association with Painted Black. Just because...
I see a red door and I want to paint it black.
Yes, exactly. But it's a completely different song and a completely different idea, so it's definitely not that upbeat. Well, it seems like it's all about end of life.
Death.
That's quite a sad song. So basically, I think it's even talking like about the person who's already dead inside and just looks at the death as the release.
Yeah, it feels like death's a formality here.
Yeah, like his existence is a burden because everything just passed by. Yeah, so he feels like everything that could have happened has already happened in the past, so there's nothing else to look forward to. Yeah, I think it's kind of like a very sad and depressive feeling. I wonder why they wrote it in, what you said, 1984?
What happened in 84?
Yeah. It's like, 26 years ago. Can you imagine writing this song 26 years ago and then living for another 26 years? Well, I hope they changed their mind. Yeah, but it's just talking about like this torture of being empty, of not feeling anything, not wanting anything, not looking forward to anything. And just, again, nothing matters.
Nothing else matters.
Yeah, only here it's just nothing matters. Not even else.
Yeah, so I've never paid attention to the lyrics of this song like so many songs before that I've heard many times. In fact, even if you ask me to sing the song, even though it's not even growl, it's not like harsh vocals. It's very audible, but I still probably couldn't tell you the lyrics, just because it's not really my focus, my default focus when I listen to music. But yeah, it's quite self-explanatory in it being about death. The two lines I wanted to like bring attention to, which I thought are really nicely like poetically written, is growing darkness, taking dawn. I was me, but now he's gone. Both those lines I think are really, really nice. Like this growing darkness, taking dawn. It's like, okay, normally in life you expect a day and a night cycle. Like, you know, you'll have your up times and your down times, but after the down here comes the up. But this is just a down cycle that's lasted for a very long time, you know. So it's nighttime, you're expecting dawn to come, but this growing darkness keeps taking dawn, keeps taking over the morning. The morning just isn't coming. So I like the poetry of that. And then I was me, but now he's gone. Very, very sad, but you know, just I'm not the person I used to be. That person isn't here anymore.
Yeah. It almost feels like it's about depression. I mean, it doesn't necessarily have to be like written in an old age, I would say. It just seems like very, very negative. Like only the negative sides of existence are displayed. So I think it can be like at any age if it has to do with depression. I'm always thinking about, you know, at young age when you go like through this phase when nobody likes me, nobody loves me, nothing is gonna happen, and stuff like that. Like this being at maximum negativity about the world and yourself.
I can't say I relate, but I've seen many people go through it.
Okay, you can't just get rid of your positivity.
Yeah, I'm the eternal sunshine. Night is waiting for its time, but it never gets its moment to shine. It's maybe just a cloud and then gone.
So you never understand what normal people
No,
are feeling.
I know. I see it. I mean, I have empathy for it for sure. You know, and I quite enjoy actually like art, whether that be film or music or whatever, that has a lot of negative emotion and you know, all these sorts of things. Maybe because I don't really know what it feels like. You know, like I've never had depression or anything like that, and of course, yeah, I'm lucky for that. I never wish to have it, but maybe through I'm a very empathetic person, so maybe through art I sort of just get a little glimpse of what it is other people experience, and can sort of
possibly. But
that.
I think it also may be that so basically the drive for art is quite often negative emotions, because negative emotions are much stronger than positive.
Yeah.
And you also want to get rid of them in the form of art. So basically, you cannot not do art because this is the way for you to channel your emotions into something.
Are you saying like all people? Like
I don't know.
Creators in general, or are you talking about me?
I'm not going to talk about everyone.
Sorry, when I say all people, I mean like generally.
I would say so. Well, like that's what I believe. I believe that like most of greatest pieces of art came out of really negative emotions because it was a way to live through them. So that's why basically because the skill of art is like much more higher that depicts the negative emotion. Maybe that's why you like it. It's just because, you know, the art is more descriptive and more exquisite.
Ultimately better.
Yes, compared to art that's driven by positive emotion, because I think we tend to hold on to positive emotions and to keep them inside and to, you know, live through them, and maybe less inclined to just share it with the world.
I suppose, and you know, when you consume art, you want to feel something. you want it to trigger an emotion. And I mean, yes, like I'm very analytical about my consumption of art, whether it be like movies or series or music or whatever. I am very, very analytical with it. But if something's going to make me feel happy, how different is that to if I didn't have the art in front of me? Ultimately I probably was going to be happy anyway. So,
knowing you, yeah.
was it really going to do much for me? Was it going to really make me feel that much? Whereas if it's something very dark and scary, depressing, sinister, then it makes me feel an emotion I'm not feeling day to day, and that has an appeal, Interesting.
Well, I mean, looking at the degree of violence on TV, that's quite obviously having an appeal.
Yeah, it's quite strange because like people have always been surprised that I listen to metal. Like people that don't listen to metal. I mean, people that listen to metal know that there's a whole broad range of people that listen to it. But like growing up, whenever I told people that I listened to metal, they were shocked. But you're so happy. like because they have this association that it's for these terribly messed up, angry people. When in reality, it's not. There's a load of us that.
The idea of use is you just always like watch cartoons and
listen to pop and
listen to happy tunes.
Yeah, exactly. But no, for me the draw to metal was that negative emotion, but then also just the complexity, the musicianship. There's some other genres that can match metal for like the skill of the musicians. I'm thinking things like jazz and classical and that kind of thing. But I mean, metal musicians are just they're so impressive to watch.
Yep.
Okay. Now anything else?
No.
We covered the lyrics.
We covered it. Check.
Hope you enjoyed it. I'm sure we will do some more Metallica if we can find some stuff that we think you haven't heard before. So basically nothing else matters, but
everything other than
surely she's heard Enter Sandman. How can anyone not have heard Enter Sandman? I don't want to play it for you in case you have, just on the side.
Well, I do listen to the radio, so if it was on the radio, I must have heard it.
I'm sure Enter Sandman would have been on the radio at some point in your life. There's a greater chance than Fade to Black, I would say. Okay. See you guys soon.
Thank you for watching.